Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about Mobile Suit Gundam Witch from Mercury, or The Witch from Mercury on episode 16, or episode 4 of season 2 of Witch of Mercury, whichever one that seems fitting for you. Anyways, this episode right here was actually pretty, tense, dangerous, and very psychotic, depending on how you perceive it or from your point of view. So if anything else, let's go. We had to Prospera ends up having to talk to the woman that she is the senpai to, whatever her name is. Man, it's like Belmia, I guess Belmia Winston whatsoever. She apparently is confirmed about what happened to Eri, because Eri's body is very small and won't be able to survive in the space. Prospera decides to turn Eri into a Gundam somehow. We don't really know how. We may have an idea or an assumption of what happened here and there. Otherwise, that's about it, And of course, some other crazy stuff happening on Earth, and then we see Zenelli Shattuck going into action about trying to be the grand boss of everything, etc. And we get to see a different group, which we all know. We all know that they're the ones that created, what's the guy's name? I don't really care because he's, not really worth anything, or that group whatsoever that makes Ellen. Ellen's group is trying to find out about the aerial and decides to steal it, and otherwise, if Ellen cannot steal that, aerial Gundam, pretty much, he'll be terminated, which is really ridiculous and really stupid, but we'll get to that just a moment. All I know is that group, Ellen's group, wants to steal the aerial Gundam whatsoever, As for Suletta and her friends, Earth friends, things are not looking so well right now, and they are branded as terrorists, As for Nika, she apparently is being talked to or something like that by one of Shattuck's followers or harem followers, whichever one that's fitting for you. All I know is the girl was trying to convince Nika, yeah, how you want to pronounce her name. Forgive me if I said it in the wrong or pronounce it wrong. That might be offensive. She offers her to join Shattuck's group, but she refuses, but tells her that your ideals alone will not get you anywhere, which apparently is kind of true, because unless you want to make your ideals a reality, you need power. And that is the sad and ironic thing when it comes to certain series. You think your ideals is enough to get you far? No. I mean, you need power, you need strength, and you don't, unless you have the backing of many other people, it's not gonna work out for you, Whatever the case. As for Ghoul, he finally makes it back to the school or station whatsoever, and that he plans to plan to do his best to take care of everything. We don't really know. Although, he hid the fact that he's the one that killed his father without knowing, But it is what it is. I'm pretty sure when the time comes about, he will reveal the truth. Or he may hide it for the rest of his life, but he's going to reveal it very soon. Which we do not know when, but I'm pretty sure Ghoul is not the one who wants to hide anything yet. But we'll have to see, We see that Mio gives the information to her friends or her workers whatsoever. And we get to see a scene with Prospera having to talk to the group for a bit, Before, we get to see a scene, like I said, Ellen, whatever his name is, that freaking superhuman Ellen whatsoever, was trying to take the aerial Gundam by force, but unfortunately for him, it rejects him, warning him to tell him in simple words, get out. Get the out now. That kind of thing. And then it gets much uglier and worse while the Gundam ends up going against him and was trying to destroy his body. Belmia, on the other hand, tries to tell Ellen, you gotta stop this. It's not gonna work. It's really going to kill you. You won't even be able to take it over even if you wanted to. Ellen was trying to convince Belmia to do so to help him out, but she says, I'm sorry, I can't. And Ellen's like, oh, are you really that inhuman? Like how you tinker with other human beings, And this caused Belmia to have a very PTSD or very mental breakdowns whatsoever. We don't really know. But one thing's for certain is that Ellen tells Belmia, you're just a traitor whatsoever, and I'm going to report to you to the higher-ups for what you've done. And Belmia can only stare in despair and can possibly cry in grief, knowing that it's impossible, knowing that where she's at right now, she can't really go back anymore. Well, I guess Belmia, she is responsible for creating superhuman beings in a certain way to handle Gundams or the Pharaoh, whatever you want to call it. One thing's for certain is that it's not looking so great, you know? We get to see a scene with Mio and Suletta talking with each other about the situation, especially her mother, you know? Suletta is like this girl that's very naive and very innocent. We all know that. From the very beginning of the series, she's always been this goody two-shoes girl who doesn't really know how the community works or see how disgusting and cruel human reality can be. And what's even much worse right now is that she's willing to listen to whatever her mother says, no matter what, because she is responsible for a lot of things. Her growing up, getting her to school. You can name a list of infinite things, or maybe less, or a lot. You get the idea. All I know is that Mio is very troubled by this and confronts Prospera about it and saying you should stay out of this and that whatever you're doing is really ridiculous and so forth. And Prospera says, well, your father is the reason why this all happened in the first place. And Mio's like, don't BS me. You're lying. She goes like, you think I'm lying? Do you not understand, or did your father hide the fact from you that he was responsible for killing my family, my husband, my mentor, my allies, and everything that I worked and lived my life for? He destroyed it all. Your father is responsible as you are, which is really messed up. Pretty much, Prospera reveals her real intentions of wanting revenge on her father because what he has done, and that she even accuses and tells Mio that you carry those sins, you know? And this is kind of messed up in a certain way because no child bears the sins of their parents. That's really ridiculous because they haven't done anything wrong. Whatever the case of ignorance or not looking into it very carefully, I guess that's about it. But other than that, Mio is completely innocent and never responsible for anything, you know? Especially her father's actions or sins. And we have to it that Mio, on the other hand, gets really angry and says, you want to get revenge? Then fine, but leave Suletta out of it, you know? And we have to it, Prospera says, then why don't you cooperate with me? If you help me out, I will leave Suletta out of it. However, if you don't, then here. I'm talking about the Project Quiet Zero whatsoever, you know? There'll be a new president and that will ruin the plan whatsoever. That's why, Mio, you must be the freaking next president. After all, you are the bloodstained daughter of Delling Rembrandt himself, you know? And the episode ends off there. Preview next episode title is called Precious Things, you know? And so forth. So yeah, all I can really tell you in this episode, Prospera reveals the truth about Ariel being Eri, you know? And Ellen trying to steal the Ariel Gundam, but it fails miserably, etc. And let's see here. The scene with Mio meeting up with her Earthian friends of the company, etc. And let's see here. Shattuck making his next move. Ghoul returns to school and gets ready to go into action, which we don't know what kind of action he'll be doing. And Mio and Suletta talk about the situation with her mother. Mio confronts Prospera about the situation and offers her a choice in order to make things better or not get Suletta involved whatsoever, you know, and the truth why she's doing all this. And the way I look at Prospera, you know, she really wants revenge, except she's taking the long way around. Even if it's taken a while, she will get it. And that is the very scary thing about human beings. When they get their revenge, they would do anything, even sacrifice innocence or anything else, collateral damage, just to get the result. However, even if Prospera does get her revenge whatsoever, she won't find peace. That is the die-hard fact. It may be different for everyone else, you know, but it leaves you empty. Because after Prospera gets her revenge, what is she going to do next? Well, I don't know a lot about Gundam. I don't know a lot about Gundam series here and there, but I know for the fact that it involves a lot of politics and a lot of corrupted system motherfuckers whatsoever. So, yeah, don't know what's about to happen next, but it's not going to be very pretty from here on out, because now Suletta and Mio and everyone else connected with them is now going to be involved with a lot of blood. And as for Nika, we don't know what's going to happen to her. I mean, and the other people too who are involved with the terrorist attack. But it's not going to be very pretty, and Earth is being like a war zone right now, very badly. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. So I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-ta-da!